If that is the end, then what happens to justice? What happens to the murderer who dies peacefully, or the just man who suffers and disappears forever? Plato had a radical answer. Without the soul, justice is a joke. According to Plato, justice isn't just about laws or courts, it's about the soul and what happens to it after death. If death erases everything, then no soul survives to be judged. The unjust can win, the just can suffer and vanish. And that, at least for Plato, is absurd. It mocks the very idea of moral order. In other words, if there is no afterlife, then those who commit injustices and escape earthly punishment, which happens many times throughout history, face no ultimate reckoning. A tyrant who lives a life of pleasure and power through unjust means and then simply ceases to exist upon death would have effectively won. There would be no cosmic balance to correct the scales. This also means that there will be no intrinsic motivation for virtue. If our existence is limited to this fleeting life and there are no consequences beyond it, what truly compels us to be just when injustice might offer immediate gratification or advantage? Why choose suffering for righteousness if there is no lasting reward or purpose? The fear of death can even lead people to commit unjust acts to preserve their lives or gain security. Another key argument is that, for Plato, if death is the end, then the struggle for goodness becomes futile. Living a just life involves significant effort, self-control, and sometimes sacrifice. This means prioritizing reason over desire, seeking wisdom and contribution to the good of humanity. If death erases all this, then this might seem pointless, because why strive for excellence of character if it all dissolves into nothingness? Many thinkers say that justice is merely a societal convention to keep order and not tied to an eternal divine entity. However, Plato argued that if this is true, then justice becomes a pragmatic tool rather than a profound moral imperative. Plato referred to the internal justice. In other words, if there is no ultimate ground for justice beyond human agreement, then it can be manipulated, disregarded, or simply laughed at by those who benefit from injustice, knowing there is no final price to pay.